Hi everybody, we are still tailgating and we're going to continue to tailgate here. So I'm making some crab cakes, but I'm putting them on a slider. So it's going to be crab cake sliders and it's going to be really light, delicious, yummy if you love crab. And I'm excited about this one because I have a trick for you later that's going to make it a little bit less fattening, but it's still going to be a slider. Okay, so let's dive in, okay? So I have the onions chopped up. This is actually going to go into my remoulade. We're making a remoulade sauce to go on these crab cakes. So that needs to move over there. And I'm going to chop up some tarragon. Fresh tarragon is so wonderful. It's a beautiful fresh herb, but it has like a licorice-y kind of flavor to it, but it gives so much fragrance to the fish, and it complements it so well. I love tarragon in seafood. It's so good. Actually, tarragon in chicken is really good too. So I'm just going to get this chopped up here. My pan is getting warm for when we're ready to saute these crab cakes. Okay, so let's get the tarragon in there into our fresh, you can see it's super lump crab. It's so beautiful. Then I'm going to add some chopped scallions that I did before. Ooh. Okay, now time for some red bell pepper. I love red bell pepper in my crab cake. It gives it, of course, that peppery taste, but it also gives it a sweetness, because the red bell pepper is a lot sweeter than the green one. So I'm just going to get that diced up. A couple of seeds in there. We don't want the seeds because they're really hard and they're not so pleasant to bite into. So let's chop that up. I have a seed on my finger. Okay. I never waste a part of the pepper. I always chop the whole thing up, and some people would throw those ends away. I like to take them and chop them because it's still a part of the pepper. You can still get what you need from it, so why throw it away? Might as well keep it. Okay, so let's put this part in. We're going to put more. And a trick to breaking down a bell pepper is to cut the ends off as I just did, and I'm going to show you the rest on how to get your chop. It's all about the chop right now. Okay, and with that, and so you just want to take it and get all of that out of there. Get all of that out of there, roll it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of this pepper, and then I'm going to walk away from the pepper because I think we're going to have enough. It's going to be so good. So I'm excited about that. So we can save these for another dish. Down to the last bit. Okay, that's looking beautiful. Now to this, what you want to add to the mixture is some mayo, some mayonnaise, about 1/4 cup. Okay. Not too much because, again, you can always add it, but you can't take it out. Some mustard, about 2 tablespoons of mustard. And no, not the sweet relish yet, I'm sorry. That's for the remoulade. So let's get this mixed up with some panko. I do want to add some panko into here because you need the breadcrumb because I'm going to add an egg to this. So let's add some panko, just about 1/4 cup. And our egg to go in there. This is all the binder for our crab cake. Okay, and I do want to chop up garlic, but not right now, maybe later. Never mix your egg, protein, or any type of meats with your vegetables. It should always stay separated. Okay, so now maybe a little sprinkle of salt. One more pinch. Pepper, fresh cracked. Love fresh cracked pepper. Okay, and the reason why I did so little salt is because I'm about to add some Old Bay seasoning in here. I love Old Bay. It's seafood. It says seafood, and it's a lot of flavor, and it's really going to make these crab cakes open up for us. So let's go ahead and do that. Maybe a light sprinkling. Worcester sauce. Worcester sauce. Normally I would add Tabasco, but I'm going to leave out the Tabasco today. Okay. And now I'm going to get my hands dirty. I'm going to go in and mix this up. All right, here we go. So we have all that fresh herb in there. We have the crab meat. We have the veggies. And then again, at this stage, you want to kind of feel for the binding happening with the breadcrumb and the egg and see if it's really coming together, because the meat, you want to keep it lump, the meat. You don't want to smush it up too much. That's why you want to get everything in the bowl at once and then mix, and not just add, mix, because that'll break up the lumps. And you really want to see those crab lumps when you're making a crab cake. Good stuff. Oh, I can smell the tarragon. I can smell the scallions. Everything is so good. So it looks like we need a little bit more breadcrumb because it's wet, but it's not binding. So we need a little bit more breadcrumb. Sprinkle a little bit more in there. But I don't like it too bready. I'm not a fan of a bready crab cake. I like it to be lumpy and just put together, like just coming together. Yeah, it's almost there. A little more sprinkle. The thing with panko is that it takes a moment for them to begin to moisten up, to begin to bind. So let's just go ahead and mix in. Yeah, it looks like it's coming together nicely. That's how I can tell when it's pressed together and it stays. Okay, and then we're going to coat these also with the panko. So that's going to help us as well. Okay, that looks really good. Let's see if we can form them. If you can form it and it stays together, it still feels kind of moist. Nope, a little more panko. Don't be afraid. It's okay. You got to get it right. You got to play with it. You got to get in there and play with it. Okay, and that's good. And I still have lumps. I love that I still have lumps. I haven't mixed them all out. But that's a testament to putting everything in the bowl first and then mixing. Okay. So our sliders should be not too big, not too small, because we want a nice, healthy crab cake. So good. I love them. So we'll set that one. We'll just form them. A little bit more in that one. These are going to be so yummy. They have so much flavor and so much sweetness. The crab meat is so sweet. Sometimes you can put corn in this or have a little corn relish on the side with tomatoes. It's so yummy. You could even have a crab cake on top of a salad if you want. That's another healthy alternative. But for tailgating, we're going to do an open face slider. That's going to be really good. Because when you're out there cheering for your team, you want to make sure that you got enough substance in your belly. Okay? And we've done a whole wheat, actually a whole wheat bun, which is good. It's a honey wheat whole wheat bun, but we're going to take the top off anyway. Okay? So we're just going to get the panko on each side and then saute them with a little bit of olive oil in the pan, instead of deep frying or however. You can even bake these if you want to. You don't have to do them in the pan even. You could put them in the oven and they'll do just fine. You definitely want to set your oven to about 375 degrees and let them bake for about maybe 15 to 20 minutes again. Really quick cooking time because the crab doesn't take long and you don't want it to get rubbery. So you definitely want to keep your eye on that crab cake while it's in there. Okay, let me rinse my hands for a bit because I need to make room on my panko plate for some more crab cakes. So I'm going to get some in the pan. Drizzle our olive oil. And once I get a few in the pan, then we'll keep making them. Okay. That's good. Turn my heat up just a little bit, just to get it going, because we want that saute to happen. Okay. But you don't want them to cook too fast on one side to where they're not cooked through. And you really want that raw egg in there to cook. Beautiful. Now let's make some more, because we want to make sure we get all of this crab in this pan. We want it all, because our guests are going to be hungry. Almost done. Starting to sing. That pan is starting to sing. I hear the sizzle. That's what we want. That's the money. It's the sizzle. Okay. Give me a little bit more in this one, and then I'll put the rest in that one. Oh, they're so cute. That's just cute. And with that pop of color, that red in there is giving me a pop of color. I love it. It's almost like Christmas, but not for crab, but good. Okay, let me rinse my hands. All right, maybe just a smidge on this side, because we have some extras coming in the pan right now. And if you don't get them all in right now, that's okay. Shimmy them, move them, shift them around wherever you need them to go. There we go. They'll help each other out. Oh, they smell so good. I wish you could smell this, but you will. When you make these yourself, you'll smell them. That one didn't want to stay together for me, but that's okay. We can fix that, no problem. All in together now. There you have it. So now we're going to let these cook on each side. I'm going to turn them in another maybe 7 minutes. I'm going to put a lid on them so that way they cook inside. So in other words, when I put the lid on, it's creating an oven inside the pan for them to cook internally. So let's do that. And that's it. We're going to let these cook for about maybe 3 minutes more on this side, and then we're going to flip them. Okay, so now we're ready to turn over the crab cakes. We're going to flip them. Oh, they smell so good. Oh, beautiful golden. Look at that. That's what you want. You want it to be nice and golden brown. And let them cook all the way through. Crispy on the outside. These must have been the last few we put in. That's hot. Oh, I think Deborah messed up. I think Chef Deb got a man down, but guess what? He's going to be good too. There we go. Nice. Lovely, lovely. I'm going to add a little bit more extra virgin olive oil to the pan, only because panko will absorb your oil. So you just want it to have a little bit more, just so we got crispy, crispy on all sides and throughout. There we go. And now we're going to put the cover back on, another 3 minutes on this side, and then they'll be done. So we have 2 more minutes left on our crab cakes on this side. So I want to start our sauce. I'm going to make a remoulade. Remoulade is more like a, it's not a ketchup, it's not a mustard, it's not a Thousand Island, but it's perfect for seafood because it has the ketchup, the mustard, the mayo, but along with a relish. And then it has capers sometimes. It can have pickles, fresh chopped, and all sorts of wonderful ingredients. So we're going to go ahead and start that. I put my onions in there already. So we're going to get some garlic in there chopped up. I love it garlicky. So good. Similar to an aioli in that sense too. Aiolis are traditionally a mayo with the garlic, and it's so yummy. Oh, I hear those crab cakes talking to me. They're telling me something. They're saying we're trying to get ready here and we're almost there. Food does talk. It does talk. That's another way you learn in the kitchen if what's is done. Your nose and your ears tell you a lot when you're cooking. Okay, so let's get that garlic in there. Oh, love it. Who doesn't love it? So let's have ketchup. I'm gonna turn my pan down a little bit. Let's have some mayo because I wanna have time for us to finish the sauce so we can have that with it. Ooh-wee. That's gonna be so good. Some mustard, and mustard adds a nice tangy bite to this. Mustard and a little bit of lemon zest. Let's go with lemon zest in this part. And that's good for the crab. It's so yummy with the crab. And again, don't get the white part. That's the bitter. That's the bitter Betty. Let's stir that together. Let's get some black pepper in there though before I do that. I love black pepper bite. And just a pinch of our salt. That's all we need for balance. Now some capers in here will be beautiful because it'll add that little salty bite. You can go ahead and add them if you want to. Just chop them up and throw them in. It will be wonderful. And that's our remoulade. So now I believe these crab cakes are ready. So I think we need to get these out of the pot. Now I always try to wipe the lid before I take it off so that way that moisture doesn't drop back in on my product or whatever I have in the pan. Beautiful. Okay. So now I have a paper towel lined plate to put them out on because I'm going to bring over our slider buns and we're going to add a dollop of the remoulade underneath and then set these on top so that way everybody can see, ooh, it's a crab cake. Who doesn't love a crab cake? I guess if you're allergic to shellfish, I get it, but they're so yummy. So let's bring our plate over here. Now, as I said, these are wheat slider buns, and we're gonna just take the tops off. We wanna keep it a little bit lighter, a little bit leaner. I'll just set them aside. You could actually use these for like a bread pudding or a stuffing, cut them up, freeze them, save them for later. So that way we don't waste anything. Who wants to waste anything, right? So let's get that like that. Now we're gonna go on with our remoulade. A dollop on each. So yummy. And the way all of these flavors come together and play together in this dish is amazing. Your guests are going to be like, what is this? I got to have about 3 more of these. So make enough. Okay. Crab cake going on top. Beautiful. I'd eat that. We left a soldier behind. Come on out and join the party. Okay. And that's our crab cake sliders, open face. We love that because that plan came all the way together. These are beautiful. These crab cakes are amazing for tailgating and your friends are gonna love them. I'm Chef Deborah. We're eating healthy, we're tailgating light, and I hope you enjoy, and please make these recipes. They're so good.